you are. See, somebody's finally arrived. All right, I'm showing up as caller 02. Who is this? Can you hear me? All right, who am I talking to? I can barely hear you. Can you say it a little louder for me? Can you guys hear me over there?
Hello,
Oh, yes, who am I speaking with?
Malika.
Hey, what's going on, Malika? How you doing?
And yourself?
I'm good. Just trying to give it a few minutes before I get started. I want to give a few more people a chance to arrive. So just I'm gonna give it to about 10 minutes after, a little less than 3 minutes from now, and then after that I'll just go ahead and get started because I'm going to record this anyway, so I'll be able to email it out to people and they can get the information that way.
Okay.
So what's the weather like in Virginia today?
Freezing. Been stuck in the house for the last 2 days.
I believe it. I believe it. It's been like that all over the country.
Warm up though. Yeah.
Give
I
me
must be in a bad area. Oh, geez. You're fading it out.
I'm fading in and out. Well, this is my first time using this thing in about a year, so that's why I'm actually, trying to see how is it testing out. I might just call in. Give me just a second. I just got a text message back from Jessica. See if I can get her in here, and then
Okay.
give me just a second. Just type yes. Log in. All right. Oh, can you see my screen?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Okay, then are you on the app or did you just call in?
I called in.
Okay, so this is a actual a visual training as well. So you can, if you actually download a GoToMeeting app and then just log in through either a computer or a tablet, or you can even do it on your phone, then you'd actually be able to see what I'm the training material that we're going to be going over. It's the same thing that I sent you in emails, but I'm going to go over the highlights and important points. Yeah, sure. I really don't want that happening right now. Continuing on. I need to get the call-in numbers. Give me a second. That way I can have better audio. And this won't take long. It's only going to take hopefully about 15 minutes. Oh, there it is.
You want me to do it through the app?
I mean, you don't have to, because some of the stuff's going to be on the screen. Most of this, well, some of the stuff won't be. I shouldn't say most of it. Some of it will, some of it won't. But Give me just a second and let me call in, and that way I'll have better audio. Okay, looks like I'm in now. And that definitely sound Okay, just gonna give it a couple more seconds. See if Jessica on the call. Okay, I guess she'll join when she joins. I'll just go ahead and get started for the sake of time. So, all right, so this is a Safelink training. I'm going to go over several things that I've emailed to you, as well as things that just aren't in the email. Some of the things I have written down in the book, some of the things I should have wrote down in the book and didn't, intentionally. So, obviously, Safelink is a Lifeline company, and they participate in the Lifeline Program. Safelink is a subsidiary of TracFone, TracFone being one of the largest cell phone companies in the world right now, definitely in the country. So, have you seen any of the devices yet that we give out?
Yeah, kind of. Okay. The flip phones is what I've seen.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Those flip phones are the only phones I've seen.
Okay, so we've switched over from the flip phones a little over a month ago. On December 2nd, the Lifeline program changed, and not only are we doing the phone program, but we're also doing what is known as the Lifeline Broadband Provider Program. That's just LBP for short. So obviously data is available on those flip phones. They did, even though they probably did support receiving some type of data, they weren't full internet capable. So now we're giving away Android smartphones, and that started again on December the 2nd of last year.
Android smartphones?
That is correct. So our current plan that we're giving away throughout the country, except for in California, is we're giving away 500 minutes of talk time, unlimited text messages, and 500 megabytes of data every month to customers throughout
the 500
talk time states.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. No, make sure you got it.
500 a minute. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Okay. Can you hear me?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just getting quiet. Like, thought you hung up.
No, I'm giving you a chance to write everything down.
Okay.
So like I said, it's 500 minutes of talk time,
unlimited text messages with 500 megabytes of data. We do that in 39 states with the exception of California. In California, we do unlimited talk, unlimited text, and 500 megabytes of data. And the phones that we're typically giving away are just one of three that I know of. All three of them are Samsung Galaxy phones. The brand name actually, the model name actually differs.
They give away Samsung Galaxy phones?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
And the touchscreen. Okay. So they do have a couple of other models that aren't touchscreens, but those are on request only for people who may be have some type of disability, but they have to call the company and they can only request those through the company once their order has been approved. Okay, then. So let's see. All right. So I know earlier on last week I mentioned some of the places that we give away these phones. Anywhere where we sell our minutes, we are capable of going in, speaking with the managers, and possibly indoor or outdoor giving away the phones on site and on a permanent basis. So one of the list of those places falls on page 5 of the All States Training Manual you should have received last week, which would be Walmart, Kmart, CVS, Target,
Dollar General,
Radio Shack, Walgreens, Family Dollar, Dollar General, and there are a few others that aren't listed, but they are anywhere where it's sort of Safelink sales minutes or track phone. We can go in there and set up events, whether it be on a permanent basis or a temporary basis. It's totally based on the general manager's approval. You've got to make sure you're talking with the general manager. Okay, let's see. Continuing on, you were in Virginia, but this rule kind of falls over you, period. So you can give away phones to people from pretty much any state with the exception of California, Texas, and Oregon, so long as they are in the 37 other states that we service. So you're going to want to write this website down. I'm going to go there now. Should I get it right? I want to mess this up. I always have to Google search to find it because it's complicated because it's compliance. Okay, so the website you want to go to is Compliance Wiki. So that's COMPLIANCE WIKI.lifewireless.com. Now, all those are operated by another company. They, for the most part, operate in almost all of the same states that we operate in. And the beauty of this website is this. If you're ever in question of whether or not the card being presented to you is an acceptable form of government assistance, all you got to do is go to this website. So me personally, on almost every device, and I have many devices, it's bookmarked. So that it's not even a long-term thing of finding this website, because it literally goes through on most states and has the information that you would need to be able to see, whether it's the food stamp card, whether it's the Medicaid card, whether it's the what a supplemental security income paperwork looks like, whether it's, am I looking at supplemental security income, which is real SSI, or am I looking at Social Security income, which is not in acceptable form? Well, it's just not SSI. You can use Social Security, but it falls under a different category, and that's making people income eligible. But ultimately, it's a lifesaver, long story short. So you definitely want to have that website saved somewhere, written down. I don't know if you want to save it on your phone, whatever the case may be, but I'll say it again. It's Compliance Wiki. That's all typed out there, the same on the website browser. That's COMPLIANCEWIKI.LifeWireless, which is LifeWireless.com. And you've got pictures and examples of, like I said, almost every state and federal government assistance pictures are available right there. All right. So that's just in case you come up across somebody who's there from out of state. They show you something and you go like, I don't know what this is. You can verify what it is by going to that website. All right. So the one per household rule is pretty self-explanatory, but we need to explain what is a household. So the words household and address are not the same thing. For the Lifeline benefit, a household is considered an economic unit. An economic unit is any group of 2 or more people who share expenses. A good example of an economic unit is a husband and wife. It is possible that there can be more than one household under the same address, even if the individuals are paying rent or a mortgage together. As long as they receive their own income and pay their own bills, they are both eligible for the Lifeline benefit. Now, the government and the company took a whole lot of time trying to explain simple stuff. All right, so when it comes to the Lifeline benefits, if the person has their own food stamp card or their own Medicaid card, give them the phone, run through the system. Because long story short, you're almost incapable of figuring out whether or not they're paying bills together or not. All you can do is ask and they can lie. So for the sake of time, if someone comes up to you, they have their own benefit, run them through the system, see what the system says. If the system says they pop up as a household or living at a house that already is receiving a benefit, all you got to do is look and be like, all right, then, so are there more than one person receiving food stamps there or whatever the case may be? You're either going to say yes or no. All right, then. Go through the questions. The questions go really quickly. It's like 5 of them. You go through the 5 questions, put no on all of them, or ask them. The only wrong answer is if their husband or wife is the opposite person receiving the benefit. It'll automatically shut down the application and you won't be able to move forward until you change that answer. So having said all that, it could be a cousin, it could be a brother, it could be a sister, it could be a mother or father, it could be an uncle or aunt, it could be just a friend that's living there. Either way, all of those answers are acceptable with the exception of the husband or wife. It's the only one that automatically shut down the application. As far as the household worksheet is concerned. Now, unlike other companies, we are required when we do the household application to take a picture of the person that is applying for the benefit, and it's the front side camera. So this is the main reason why when we use tablets, they have to have both the front and rear facing camera, because when you get to these pictures, you've got to show a picture of them standing there applying for the benefit. You don't necessarily have to give them your tablet because we don't want them to run off with your equipment, but ultimately you do have, when you get to that part of the questions, doing the household question, you do have to have them standing next to you so that you can take a picture of them, and only they should be in the picture. All right, so I'll take a few seconds to pause and find out who joined in with us. I did hear that join in. So who is caller 04?
Jessica Coley.
Hey, Jessica, how are you doing today?
Fine, how are you?
Doing quite well. I'm Dwayne Brown. I'm the guy that's been calling you, and we've been getting your paperwork done. I must take out the time to apologize. I did not get a chance to send you your login information until last night. Did you get a chance to get your login set up?
I just read my email, but I didn't get to set it up yet.
All right, then. Well, you haven't really missed much. Did you get the website that I was talking about with the compliance wiki?
Yes.
Okay, now well, make sure you write that down. Make sure you use bookmark it inside of a web browser or something. It's a lifesaver when you're out in the field. Right now, I don't know how you're logged in. Are you logged in through just a phone call, or are you actually on a tablet or on a computer?
Just a phone call.
Okay, then. So I'm basically going over the information that I sent you last week with the training material. I believe I sent that to you on Friday and told you to go ahead and read up on it.
Yes, I did.
So this training is pretty quick. It doesn't, I don't go through everything. I go through the important things and explain some of the rules, and then I go over some of the things that are in my book, and then some of the things that should have been in my book that I intentionally left out, because they were in the book at some point. So I'm going to go over some things about door-to-door. I'm going to give you guys a little spiel you can use that usually works when you go door-to-door, and then things of that nature. So this shouldn't take too long. I'm going to get this almost over with, probably within the next 6 to 8 minutes. So it's going to move pretty quick, so take your notes. All right, but I'm going to go over the 60-day rule. And the 60-day rule is pretty straightforward. If a customer applies for a phone, gets a phone through any company, they cannot switch companies for 60 days. That rule is gone. That rule has been completely removed by the fact that we've moved to the LBP, or the Lifeline Broadband Provider service. So anyone who applies for a phone, I'm sorry? Somebody asked a question. Oh, no, we got a new caller. Who just joined us?
This is me again.
Linda?
Malika. I don't know why it keeps cutting off.
No, I just had a. Oh, did you drop the call at some point?
Yeah, so I'll call back in.
Oh, well, I was just catching up with Jessica, so I'm going to go over what I just said again. So the 60-day rule is basically anybody who's applied for a phone with any company within the last 60 days, they're incapable of switching over to a new company. Now, the 60-day rule is pretty much gone. Here goes the reason why. Because we switched over to doing the Lifeline Broadband Provider Program with the free cell phones, and we're all giving away these Androids, and they've got data on them. People are now locked in with their provider for 12 months. Which means that there is no more switching. Once you get a phone that has data capability, you are stuck with that phone for a year, as well as stuck with the company that you're with. The reason for that is the Lifeline Broadband Provider Program is not just on cell phones. You can get this benefit with pretty much any telephone company, any cable company that has that Lifeline Broadband Provider designation. Well, what was your question? Hello? Malika?
I don't have a question. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. I don't have a question.
All right. So, but the 60-day rule is still in effect for customers who prior to December 2nd got a phone. All right. So, can't switch phone companies except for every 60 days prior to December the 2nd. And now, if you get a phone with a company now and they provide you with your broadband service for free, then you can't switch for a year. All right. So there's the 90-day rule. And this is one of those sticky rules because it only belongs to Safelink. No other company that I know of has this 90-day rule, and it directly involves whether or not you get paid. So there's some problems with the rule, and I will explain it as best as I can. So first I'm going to read it, then I'll explain it. So previous Safelink customers are allowed to re-enroll under Safelink as long as it has been a minimum of 90 days since the date of their first enrollment, was de-enrolled. So, long story short, if a customer has been with SafeLink before, they come to you and say, hey, I lost my phone, I don't have my phone. You give them the customer service phone number. They stand there in front of you, call customer service, and get their application removed from the system. They have a 90-day clock before they can get another phone with SafeLink. Yes, you can enroll them that day. You will not get paid. And that's just the bottom line. There's no way around it. There's nothing that we can do to change it. That is just the way it is. So in red, it notates that it is important to note that the Street Team app will not stop you from enrolling a customer who falls under the 90-day rule. You must conduct a pre-enrollment check to ensure that the customer will be a qualified customer and sell. And that's the reason why they won't pay you. All right, qualifying the customer. I'm just going to quickly go over the 8 different government programs. So you got, obviously, Medicaid. Medicaid is not Medicare. Medicare is not a government-funded program. It is a individually funded program that you pay into by paying taxes. So it is not government-funded and does not qualify, however Medicaid does. Simply stated, though, if I remember correctly, SafeLink will not pay out on Medicaid programs that do not have the word Medicaid on the card. Don't ask me why, it's just the way it is. However, we'll move on to the next one, which is the SNAP program or the food stamp program. It's the bread and butter. It's usually the most frequently used form of qualification that we have compared to any other form by at least 100 to 1. So people on food stamps, we love to help them out because they're the easiest ones to get qualified. TANF. Even though the training said that you can use TANF to get people on into the program, you can no longer use TANF. TANF is no longer an option, and it's kind of an irrelevancy. So supplemental security income, you'll get those once a week if you do this every day, 5 days a week. But the important thing to note is that it must say supplemental security income at the top of the form that they provide. If it does not have the word supplemental security income, it has something else, Social Security, whatever the case may be. Do not use the SSI tab in the application. You must make them income eligible, which is the most complicated thing ever. Okay. The training also says that the National School Lunch Program is eligible. It is no longer eligible. As of December the 2nd, they removed both TANF and the National School Lunch Program. But for me personally, having done almost 10,000 of these over the last few years, I think I've done this school lunch program twice, so it's not something that's important. All right, LIHEAP, or the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. In order to use that, they've got to have either the bill that show that LIHEAP paid their bill, or the letter showing that they've received the LIHEAP assistance, and it has to have the amount, and it must be within the previous 90 days. Federal public housing and Section 8, those are always good to go. And then there are some state-specific programs that do qualify. I don't think you all have any in Virginia or in Florida. So, all right. Be very knowledgeable of making people income qualified. They must have 3 months of consecutive pay stubs or last year's tax returns. Okay, so that is the training on that. I'm going to quickly transition and go over going out door to door. So if you would like to take out a few moments and tell me what your experience has been going door to door.
Well, telling me to come back. A couple no answers. I didn't really have any. A couple coming. They just asked me to come back, and a couple of them didn't answer. I didn't really have any experience going door to door. I've been advertising through social media. I have a lot of response there.
Okay, there. And for me personally, when it comes to advertising on social media, I tend to use that to bring people to me versus using it to have me coming to people. And the reason for that is this: it's a lot easier for you to set up in one place and have people come to you than it is going to be for you to bounce all over town trying to meet up with 1 or 2 people. Here goes the reason why. That same person could just as easily find you 8 to 10 other people and make it worth your while. Set up a time for all of them to be in the same place, and then you come to them. Get there and then use social media to have more people come to you. I think we just lost somebody. Who did I lose? Was that Malika? Jessica, you still there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I think Malika dropped the call. She'll be back in a second. But ultimately, when it comes to customers, you want to figure out a way for them to come to you, because in running this business, you've got expenses, you've got gas, you've got your internet costs, you've got your cell phone bill, you've got bills you got to get paid. And these bills are kind of central to making money. So the least amount of money that you spend throughout the day, the better. So what I always recommend is, if you find some people and they want to get a phone, you just give them the thumbs up. Great. If you want me to come to you, though, you've got to make it worth my while. Get a few people who all want to get a phone. They may not all even qualify. It's irrelevant. You want the more people that you do at a time, the better. When it comes to going door to door, though, it's pretty hit or miss. You never know if you're getting ready to knock on the door and somebody's there. You never know if they're not, or if they're going to even qualify. You may knock on somebody's door, and just because they live in the hood doesn't mean that they're on government assistance. But the best part about going through areas where you know that there is Section 8 housing or things of that nature is that you know somebody that qualifies. So you just got to keep knocking. The better the weather is, the more money we tend to make, because ultimately more people are out. You don't have to necessarily knock on their door. If you're just in the area, you're wearing your gear and you're talking with people, they'll start talking to people for you. But long story short, if you're going to do door knocking, you want to knock at least 30 to 40 doors. Give yourself a good number of doors to average out making good numbers, and then wrap it back around. That way you actually get a full 6 to 8 hour day. Don't just knock on a door once. If somebody wasn't there, notate that by the address and come back to that door. There's a good possibility they may just be at the store. They may just be on the other side of town. They're coming back home. But the more times you knock, the better your averages will increase. And if you can make a full 3 trips around that 30 to 40 doors during the 6 to 8 hour period, then what ends up happening is you'll end up making 10 to 20 sales. It's just the law of averages. Because with our business, with us sending the phones in the mail, and you being at the door, and that's more than likely the home that they live at, they're not going to be so averse to you having the phones come in the mail as to when they usually go by the tip setups. They're expecting the phones to be right there on site. In time, we'll have both. We'll be able to send the phones in the mail as well as give away the phones on site, and that should take place within the next few weeks. So, what I tend to say though when I go up to the door is just pretty simple. I keep it as simple as possible and usually let the customers sell themselves. Hey, I'm Dwayne. I'm with Safelink. We do the free government cell phone program. Doesn't cost you anything. All I need is proof of government assistance, state ID, and social security card. I'll run you through the system and see what the system says. Flat out. And then from there, they'll either decide to go get their stuff and hand it to you, or they won't. Most of the time, they do. Jessica, you haven't had a chance to go out and do any of this yet, though, right?
What, far as door to door?
I mean, you've never given away the free phones ever.
No.
Okay, so your biggest thing is more than likely going to be just getting over the fear of talking to new people. So you've got to be sure, you've got to get into what's in my book, and that's get over the fear of asking people for their state ID, proof of government assistance, and a social security card. That is the hardest part in being new to the business, is getting used to being able to get that out of people. Have you read my book yet?
Yes.
Okay, so then you remember me discussing that, right? And that was probably like on the 3rd or 4th page. So obviously then you should be armed with the words that you need to use to get people to go ahead and hand that to you. So I won't go over that again. All I can say is, do you have any questions? Because at this point, I've pretty much gone over everything that we need to go over.
No.
No questions at all?
No, no questions.
All right. I'm going to just say I need you to do me a favor and to do this as soon as possible. As soon as you get done with your, or get a chance, I need you to call that 1-800 number. I need you to get all the information that they're going to give you and then send it over to me. That way we can have a backup just in case you forget your PIN, just in case you forget your login information. I need you to send that in, email that information to me so I can have it on record and save it for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, that's all that I needed from you, and I appreciate your time today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.